Welcome to the 5k competition showcase. Today we'll be going through all of the entries I've had to the 5k competition and most importantly showing off all of the amazing work that I've seen over the past 10 weeks. It has honestly been so much fun over these 10 weeks watching you all create these amazing themed areas, and now that they're all finished there are so many amazing creations. I cannot thank you enough for taking the time to make all of these, and yeah, I really can't wait to show them all off. This is just a reminder that the community vote will open today. It will be in the description of this video and in my Discord, so it opens from Saturday the 10th of June at 8 PM until Saturday the 17th of June at 8 PM, giving you exactly a week. So after you've seen all the entries, show your favourite creations some love and give them a vote on the form. Then just a reminder, the 5k competition results will premiere on the 24th of June. Then the first, second and third place entries will all have their own tour here on the channel on these dates on screen. And now that all of that is out of the way, I give you the 5k competition showcase. Enjoy! Atlantis is a Greek-Roman inspired island containing a restaurant, shop, toilet block and 3 rides. Poseidon, which is a B&M invert, Zeus, the drop tower, and Hercules, which is a KMG afterburner. Crescent Cove. Enjoy a highly detailed and immersive pirate world and discover its secrets. Bash some barrels and get drunk on rum, or just enjoy the beautiful views from atop the big wheel. You're in search of treasure? Shiver me timbers, so be it. Try Midnight River, the main attraction, but be warned, there's more treasure lurking in the dark. Frontierland is a western town that has been taken over by the earth and the ground destroying the local town. Drop, a Mara Skyloop, Buzzsaw is an Intamin Gyro Swing, and Horror Heights is an SNS combo tower. The West features two realistic rides, a realistic roller coaster called Outlaws Escape, which is inspired by Rattlesnake at Chessington World of Adventures, and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Peril at Disneyland Paris. The flat ride is a Fabry Ranger called Cobra. This creation is made from nearly 12,000 pieces and brought together with the Wild West theme. Hope you enjoy. Lost in the Yucatan Peninsula, Yucatana Aventura is a Mayan city that sank underground. In this expedition coaster, Law of the Jungle, you'll learn how the city sank and how the jungle took the law into its own hands. Quantum Base is an abandoned base of Quantum Aerospace Corporation. It seems this company works secretly on a new type of technology and something went out of control, but what? Let's ride Reactor B-53 or Ionic Speed and enjoy the area. A Natural Wonder is a nature-themed land consisting of 2 rides, an Intamin coaster called Sprout and a drop tower, and a restaurant themed to a sawmill, Bullseye's Sawmill and Grill. Village of Crystals is themed around a Japanese-style village. Explore the town of Karasu and discover the wonders beyond Roller Temple and shoot along the jagged track of Crystal Storm. Wizard of Oz Land is a Wizard of Oz themed park, starting at the beginning of the film in a black and white era, then moving into Munchkin Land all the way to Emerald City. Make sure to spot all the characters along the way. Rides include Tornado, Curious Crows, the Oil Can, Glinda the Good, and Surrender Dorothy. Discover the secrets hidden in Blue Cove. Ride on the back of a mythical creature, Stingray, a B&M flyer that gracefully glides over the water between the trees and through caves. Falcon Quest is a Gerstlauer sky flyer that is tucked away in a forest of bamboo. Mountainside Hamlet is a mining hamlet. There is lodging and a pub. It features Gold Fever coaster and a Venetian carousel. Xinbeida Night Market is a fictional Taiwan night market. Rides in the park are Tengche, the kids coaster, Kong Fan, which is a kickflip, Kui, the Insanity, Kushe, the Hellion Ring, Strix, the dive coaster, and a Venetian carousel. The World of Energy. The Intamin vertical launch coaster is called Power Surge, and the two drop towers are called High Voltage. Lamiak Swamp. Lamiak Hunter is an Intamin blitz with 16 versions in which a team of hunters go to a bunker invaded by the mutant Lamiak plant. Thanks to fuel modifying, your vehicle will be able to go hunting with you. There is also a drop tower where passengers will be ejected from the bunker due to high pressure in the pipes. Witch's Meadow, a hidden magical forest with a lot of vegetation and a cozy atmosphere. The ride names are Cannon, Flyer and Magix. Roma Atlantis. Rome has undergone a massive flood in the year 2050 due to climate change, and now the newest technology called Drexion is surfing along the flooded ruins, but the evil centre hub is taking over, called the Riptide. Over time, palm trees and bushes grew over an abandoned Egyptian ruins, and now it's an Egyptian jungle. A wealthy businessman decided to build his park on these ruins. The area contains one coaster, Pharaon, a top spin, the Test of the Gods, and one restaurant, Pharaoh's Fries. Adventurous fairy tales. In a tropical jungle, a train speeds through old Mayan temples. Explore the many secrets such as a whirly rig inside a waterfall cave. Villaggio Craco. A mysterious force resides in the catacombs of Church Santa Maria, endangered all the villagers in the 70s. They either vanished or fled the village terrified. Rumours spread about a demonic power that forces the possessed to climb the tower Torre de la Croce and take a leap. The former ghost town then became a famous tourist attraction. It features a realistic Gerstlauer infinity coaster called Exorcist, inspired by Carnan, and a Vekoma family boomerang called Little Demon. Skeleton Key, a pirate-themed area including Siren the launch coaster and Drunken Sailors the flat ride. Desolate Dunes is based around ancient Egyptian ruins. It features a coaster called Dune Rider and a flat ride called Tower of Ruin. The Gardens has two coasters, a dive coaster named Big Dive and a multi-launch coaster named Steel Dragon. It also has two flat rides, two restaurants, and the restrooms. Wild Ridge features a mine train coaster that follows the terrain around the area called Mine Train Express, and a chair swing flat ride called Wild Roundup. Adventureland features a Gerstlauer Skyfly called Flyer and a Mack multi-launch coaster called the Temple of Death. This is all accompanied by a detailed adventure theme. Steammore is a steampunk area heavily inspired by Fly and Taran at Frontierland. The main coaster is called Rust, and there is also a restaurant called the Iron Rattler. This area also includes a hotel called Hotel Amsterdam, and the two flat rides are a balloon ride named Aeronaut and a carousel ride named Carousel. Steam, a mysterious inventor, Dr. Emmett Bronze, has been trying to make a flying machine for the masses. He goes through many tests, all of which haven't been exactly what he was looking for. He needed to take a break and decided to make food for the city of Cogwheel. While making a dish, he noticed that large amounts of steam came up when moving things. He theorized that steam could be used to generate electricity, which is what he needed to make his machine more stable. Continuing his work, he finished his flying machine and began previews for the public. He named his machine the Bronze Talon. Roundabout Row, a small urban area nestled in the mountains based off Pittsburgh. It includes a tilt-a-whirl by the name of the model itself, a Larson loop by the name of Load Looper, along with a Vekoma mine train called Walker Mine Train. And there you have it, that was the 5k competition showcase, showing off everyone's entries to this amazing competition. Thank you so much for entering. And like I said, the community vote is now open, so please get voting for your favourites to show the creators some support. You have exactly from now a week to do this, so you can go back and watch this video and watch all the entries if you need to, and I really hope you have enjoyed watching this competition unfold as much as I have. I will definitely be doing another competition in the future. This has been really fun to do. I don't know when that will be, probably after the park series, but I'll see, I'll let you know. And with that, this video is finished. Again, thank you so much if you've entered the competition, just for keeping up with the competition as well, if you're a supporter of it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I cannot wait to see how this competition goes. So get voting, and I'll see you next time.